top story, though, tonight, that another atmospheric river is moving through our region, bringing Sierra snow, heavy valley rain, and strong winds.
And that storm making for treacherous travel. Check out I-80 at Donner Summit and Sacramento with snow and rain on the roadways. Yuba City also seeing heavy rain. Thanks for joining us for the CBS 13 News at 5. I'm Marley Ginter.
And I'm Hunter Soward. Some of those sky cams not looking good out there, but we've got you covered this evening with a team of First Alert meteorologists timing out what you can expect where you live throughout the night. Your reporters covering Sacramento County, Tori Apodaca, with the impact we're already seeing here in the valley. But we want to start with your reporter, Brady Halbleib, up in the Sierra. Brady, you've been tracking those preparations, and how are things looking right now?
Yeah, you know, the snow is really starting to pick up here, and so is the wind. Just within the past 15 minutes or so, I've really started to notice that. But if we swing it around and look at I-80 right here, this is in Truckee. Smooth sailing for the most part. Traffic is moving swiftly, but as you can notice, there is no snow on the ground right here. Chain controls, although, are in effect up near the summit. If you're going eastbound, it's at the Donner Lake interchange. And if you're going, if you're going westbound, but if you're going eastbound, that is right at the Kingvale mark. Now, when it comes to responding to these sorts of storms, specifically in the town of Truckee, Emergency Services told me that today that they keep a close eye on these storms, especially these big ones that come through. And they've been communicating with different agencies like CHP, Caltrans, Public Works Department, as well as all the utility agencies in the area to be able to have a unified command front to be able to respond to these things quickly. Now, there are two things that they're mainly concerned about here with this storm overnight. First thing, roads. They want to be able to have everything open and clear, specifically the arterial streets before they go into the smaller streets. And the second thing is, of course, we've heard it before, power outages.
And anytime they see impacts, we try to learn the scope of that impact, see if any of those impacted customers will have long-term needs, and we'll work with other partners in helping support those people as needed.
So as you can see, the snow is coming down right here, but I do want to note and mention again, if you look at the road, at least here in Truckee, it is not sticking to the roadway, but of course that could all change up near the summit. But for more on your forecast, your First Alert forecast, let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Nick Marianos in the Weather Center. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, hey Brady, thank you. And you just hit that right on the head too. Along the summit, the snowfall rates very soon going to pick up here. We will have rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour. It's going to be this line of very heavy rainfall that's now moving across the eastern portion of the Sacramento Valley. This has a history of bringing down some trees and some high winds as it was moving from the Bay Area across the valley. So we're seeing some very heavy rainfall rates with that. Also some cloudy ground lightning strikes now with some of the heavier cells just east of Citrus Heights. You can see a strike there just within the last couple of minutes, and within the last 2 minutes or so right by Auburn as well, of some of that heavy precipitation making its way toward the north and east. Now up by Marysville, we were following a heavier storm that was moving through. Reports of some trees down in the Marysville area. That's pushing up toward the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So Sweetland, Oxford Mill, also going to see that band of precipitation moving through. And then when it comes to that thunderstorm from Auburn and the heavy precipitation down to the south, that's all moving quickly as well. So closer to 5:30, Pollock Pines up by Donner, the heavy snowfall rates coming in about just before 6 p.m. And the temperatures, when that line comes through, that's the cold front. So when that moves through, those temperatures are going to drop, and we will see a rapid lowering in those snow levels down to about 3,000 feet this afternoon. Hunter?
We're looking at those and hearing you talk about the wind conditions out there, Nick. We're tracking it all for you. We want to show you this, though. Part of I-80, look, shut down in Solano County because of this. A tree right there toppling onto the freeway. A CBS 13 viewer actually sent us this video just before our 4 o'clock newscast. Peak gusts in that area, according to Nick and our meteorology team, was 45 to 50 miles per hour. This is right near the I-80 505 interchange. CHP says that crews were on their way there to clear the scene. We are still waiting to hear back if anybody was hit or hit this tree. We'll continue to track it.
Yeah, and we do so appreciate it when you can send us that video safely, of course. We continue our First Alert Action Day coverage, looking at rain and windy conditions, as you saw in the Sacramento Valley.
Your reporter covering Sacramento County, Tori Apodaca, live in Discovery Park with how things are looking out there, and Tori just looks soggy.
Very soggy out here right now, Hunter and Marley. You can see it falling down on us, and it's been pretty relentless since around 2 p.m. Some of the traffic moving behind us at this 5 o'clock hour, and on the ground you can see areas like this starting to puddle, and that's what drivers are really up against. But if it's one thing that Sacramentans have learned from these storms over the past few years, it's to be prepared. Wind whipping through Sacramento Wednesday. So intensely, it even had our heavy camera shake.
This type of weather, you think about the trees. We just had it pruned, so I think we're okay.
The wind blew us to Phoenixfield, a neighborhood in Fair Oaks where we met Jennifer Ryder.
I was wearing short sleeves and sandals yesterday and the day before. It was just gorgeous. And today I need my coat on probably.
She's been prepping her home for the wet and windy weather, checking her window screens and clearing her gutters and drains. What type of impacts have you seen from this type of weather in the past year?
Well, I've had my living room flooded when it rained a lot before I got my French drain fixed.
I think it's been a lot milder than the previous years, which is a good thing.
Owner of Fair Oaks arborist Scott Shaw was on standby for downed trees. Later called out to this massive oak tree that split in half, crashing through a fence at a Sacramento home. What kind of, signs can people be looking for to keep healthy trees?
If you do end up going outside or after the storm, then take a look around the base of the trees. If you see any soil separation, so small fine cracks around the base of the tree, it means that's indication that the root plate is shifted.
We met with Shaw at a practically empty park, but did see some dogs playing fetch and a biker before the dark clouds rolled in. Rain or shine, you're going to be biking.
Well, yes, that's of course.
And by 2 p.m., that rain started coming down, soaking Sacramento in a pre-spring shower.
I love sweater and sweatshirt weather. I'm afraid I love this.
So obviously some people are enjoying this wet weather. You can see, though, traffic moving along us right here behind us as people are just taking it slow. Sacramento County, though, telling us that all of the preparations started well before the storms this season, months in advance, even weeks. But they are on standby in case anything were to happen.
Yeah. Got to be better safe than sorry, especially when it comes to this weather around here, especially this time of year. All right, Tori, live for us there in Discovery Park. Thanks so much. Don't forget our team coverage. It's going to continue with First Alert meteorologist Ashley Manfria. She is tracking right now the timing of what we can expect later into tonight and then tomorrow, Ashley.
Well, let's first start off with the other big factor of the storm system. As Tori mentioned, it's really the wind that has been the big story today for a lot of us, with a few downed trees aside from the rain and the snow. So as we take a look at some of our peak wind gusts that we've seen so far today, strong around the Bay Area, upwards about almost 60 miles per hour. Even in the valley too, Stockton has seen a gust upwards about 52 miles per hour, and Sacramento International not far behind with a 51 mile per hour wind gust. Wind right now starting to pick up across the foothills and Sierra. We are expecting gusts close to about that 60 mile per hour mark. So as we head through the rest of tonight, wind will continue to be a factor as that cold front sweeps through. As we take a look at the wind gusts over the next few hours, focusing on the foothills and Sierra by the time we hit about 7, 8 o'clock tonight, but still gusting upwards about 30 miles per hour across portions of the valley and even around the foothills too. Finally starting to relax a bit as we head into early tomorrow, but we still do have more rain and snow on the way with this storm system, and we are expecting some more impacts throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Of course, Nick has more details on that coming up here in just a little bit, but for now, send it back to you.
All right, Ashley, tracking it all for us even as we look ahead. And stay with our First Alert weather team. On this First Alert Action Day, we're tracking the rain and the snow on air and online at CBS13.com. We're always streaming, don't forget, on CBS News Sacramento.